Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the cringiest of us all? Welcome to Myth Vision Podcast. I got Gnostic Informant in the hizzy, and I got Deep Drinks Podcast joining us. It's like 3 a.m. over there.
Yeah, 4 a.m. now, but yeah.
Okay, you're that cringe. That's how cringe you are.
That's
we started the poll, and it's up to you to choose. The power is in your hand. Who among us three? Hopefully, you can change your vote, I think, along the way. You might go, damn, dude, you are. And then next thing, oh, no, dude, you beat him. I'm going to have to go with this guy. And then we're just going to have fun kind of roasting ourselves today because some of the stuff we've said, some of the things we did, it's all part of what we have experienced. And so I hope that you can have a laugh with us. Don't take it too personal. I did pin in the comment section to subscribe to Gnostic Informant, subscribe to Deep Drinks Podcast, help both of our guests. And of course, you know how you can help us here at Myth Vision. So let's have some fun for once. We're always so serious, but nothing better than making fun of yourself. Right. So don't take it personal. Let's get started.
Son, do you want to know what the truth is? After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill and you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill and you stay in Wonderland. And I show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.
All right. Cringe Fest, here we go. I feel like I have to address this. Again, the red pill is not political in any way, shape, or form here. And David, I think you're muted. Are you muted? No, you're not. I thought you were trying to laugh there for a second, but that's pretty cringe that I didn't hear you laugh. All right. You're already winning against us. Okay.
I have to say, yeah, but dude, you got to keep it because that intro is amazing. The music,
without a doubt. I hate that it's been.
You take the red pill back because it didn't start off that way. It never was.
Yeah. It's become a thing. So I want to. It's like me using Plato's cave. Okay.
Yeah.
Plato would have a hissy fit with the way I use it because he wants you to believe in higher forms and in an ultimate divine. I use it as waking up and our perception completely changing. So, look. I think that Plato would be like, hey, that's not what I meant. Cool. That's fine. You reuse it how you will. But I want to make that point because it's about waking up and realizing I've been wrong for so long on so many issues, ethically, my religious outlook, how I've looked at morality, all of these things. And as a human, we grow, we learn. And I guarantee you in 10 years, I hold the things now. I might go, why didn't I see that sooner? So today is Cringe Fest, and I want whoever wants to clown themselves first, please.
Oh, look, someone in the chat said, I'm expecting some serious cringe. You better not let me down. And I might not even be able to watch this. It's so bad because it's myself, obviously. So let me go ahead and jump up on the screen. All right, this is me.
Guys, make sure you keep in mind you need to vote on who is the cringiest. This is a competition between. I saw that
I brought two videos today. So.
Yeah, and I was like, how dare you? How dare you not invite me to this cringe fest? I am definitely the cringiest of them all. This is let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna play mine.
Can you make it where because you do this on your streams a lot, and I always want to like fix it. Okay, there you go. That's better. It's
right.
full screen.
We're good now?
Yep,
Okay.
that's better.
All right.
We were talking about before how socialism and communism, they always promise a utopia. Utopias never work because men are fallen, men are corrupt, and that's why it never actually works. But there was a utopia once in the very beginning, and the only reason it was paradise is because God was the one running it. And that was the Garden of Eden. So I'm going to toss it to you, Neil.
Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
You know, Garden of Eden, you can read it whether you're a Jew or a Christian or a Muslim. You talk about that.
Oh, the cringe is strong.
This is something that all three.
We know this mythical place existed.
In the beginning, there was Adam and Eve. They were in the garden, and God told them, "Here's the tree of life. Eat from that tree all you want. The tree here in the center right here, this is the only tree that you cannot eat. It's the tree of knowledge of good and evil." So there's a lot of different ways to interpret that.
Oh my God!
Obviously, there's some allegorical aspects here, because we're talking about the beginning.
Well, you're at least granting allegory or something there.
Yeah.
Even.
The guy on the left of me he was pissed about this.
Who? The guy with the American flag?
He was pissed about this.
Look at his face.
But I get weird though. You're right. Off the bat, you're like, that isn't so bad. Just watch how bad. How bad it gets. No. Watch how bad it gets.
Okay, you seem pretty.
All we have is passed down from generation to generation.
Watch.
So you take it for what it is. You can interpret it however you want. But if you actually break it down to what this really means, now what happened when Eve took the bite of the apple? Her eyes opened and she was aware, and she saw things with it. And the serpent told her that you can eat this and you'll become as gods. And you see over time now, more and more knowledge leads to more and more stresses, more and more problems, more and more population, more and more disease, more and more technology, which leads to more and more control.
It speeds up. God warned Adam and Eve. He said, if you eat this, you will surely die. He didn't mean you were going to die instantly. Yeah. He meant that sin was going to enter the world and that the body would die.
Yeah.
You see how we're trying to like make sense of it? Or trying
You're trying.
It's fun to toss that in there.
But I do my research, right? And I love to read about this stuff. This is for a long time.
That hasn't changed about you. There's something that hasn't changed about you.
Yeah, I've always been like weird, like
I will,
and the Bible, and sometimes other stuff but in particular Genesis in the Torah and the Bible, the word they use, and if you pull out the Hebrew, the Masoretic text, which is the official Orthodox Jewish version of the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible. And the word that they use for Genesis, or for knowledge, for the tree of knowledge, good and evil, is a word called dath. Spelled Hebrew dalet.
Gosh.
Aleph, ayin, ta, which is if you don't put the dot in the middle of the tot, it's a th. So the word is dath. So the tree of knowledge is a tree of death.
Dr. Josh is in the chat. Let's have Dr. Josh tell you how stupid this English translation.
So this didn't.
Oh, Kip Davis is in there. Dude,
they didn't have.
You're screwed.
English was not even a language.
So I basically just try to make an argument that by coincidence, the Hebrew word for knowledge is also the English word for death, and it was like some divine coded thing.
Gematria-ish.
Yeah, that's basically what I just tried to say.
Wow.
Like there's secret meaning in the words, and etymologically, God like preserved this little like fossil into the language.
How fucking cringe is that, though?
Well,
I almost didn't want to bring this video because it's so.
I'm gonna have to say the cringiest thing is I know for a fact that you're like really just a radical fundamentalist in this, but you're still at least willing to not take everything.
Oh yeah, this is towards the end. This is not like this is
okay.
This is like, my last year of Christianity. My last year.
I see no difference between the content you make now and this. This looks exactly the same.
So we're bouncing back and forth. Look, someone asks an interesting super chat, and I do want to try and bounce right between. This is part of the cringe. What is the worst belief you held? Have you guys thought about that?
One time, everyone was asking me like questions at school, like, would you do this if you for God? Would you do this for God? Would you do this for God? Like, would you go gay for God? Like all this like just like stuff that teenagers ask, right? And I said like I said the cringiest thing. I said I'd kill my entire family for if God asked me to.
Ooh.
And I was serious, and I was like, the point was like, I would do anything if I knew it was God. Like, how could you turn down God, right? Like, he's the controller and master of everything, right? So yeah,
I don't
said,
know if I could come close. I mean, I've literally thought, okay, I have 3 sons, been a father for a long time. You're just now a new father, right, David?
Yeah. 4 weeks old, little baby Atlas Christopher, after Christopher Hitchens McDonald. So,
Okay,
Nice.
wow.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I've been a parent for, well, my oldest son is 16 now. So that tells you how long I've been a parent. And I've had to think about that Abraham scenario. If God told me to sacrifice him, to kill my son with a blade, would I do it? And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've really tried to put myself in the shoes. I honestly, cognitive dissonance, there's a wall. It was like a moment where I was like God would actually ask that? Like, it just, but then somehow I was able to accept, oh, he did it to his own son. Woohoo! Wow. Okay, good. Because
You
want
want to
my
hear?
own,
You want to hear a
not
bad
mine.
one? You want to hear a bad one? So I was a King James only Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to.
for a while.
I tried to like make the English Bible from 1611 is the perfect and pure one. And the way I rationalize it, I said to myself, Hebrew is the Father, Greek is the Son, and English is the Holy Spirit.
You had some wild stuff going on.
I'm
bro.
weird, man. I'm a weirdo. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just establish
so
that I'm a
good.
weird
That's so
guy.
good.
I think what worst is that worst part, right? Like, for me, I'd say if we're talking theology and not ethical or like how I saw ethics or the way I viewed people, I'd say the worst is that I saw certain people as like, no matter what, going to hell. They're just, it's us versus them mentality, tribalism 101 completely. And so that I would say is the worst belief ultimately, whether that be someone in the LGBTQ community, someone who doesn't agree with my interpretations. But the other thing is theologically, I would say it was that it was the predestinarian position, which I find to be biblical in some ways. And it was God literally made vessels for wrath prepared for destruction, and like trying to realize that my God was like that my God wanted some, very few find the path broad to destruction, that many go, few are the ones who are chosen. But at the end of the day, it was that theological thing I'd say was worst. But built inherently, you got reprobates and sinners, and like the way we view humanity, I'd say is the worst belief we held. I'm almost speaking for us three in my view, is that we just viewed the world around us as this war zone.
I used to think that even though I was the one who, in all the friends I went to high school with, who went to school with, and they're all getting good jobs and getting PhDs and getting degrees, and I'm in prison. But I used to think, because I was saved, because I got saved, I had the right. I'm the chosen one.
You're the one who's got your shit together.
Yeah, I'm the one who figured it out, and they're all losers. I'm the one who got it right. They're all a bunch of sheep. That is crazy.
Humble.
That's like one of the. I look back at that and I'm like, wow, that's insane. It's literally insane, because you want to you're trying to make yourself feel like you are smarter than everyone else. So Christianity does that for you. Christianity is like, you're chosen, you're it. Everyone else is a bunch of sheep, and they're all going to hell. Like, empowers you in that sense,
Yeah, I think some versions of it definitely do that. And I'm not trying to defend, I'm pointing out that there's such a variety, but I don't think either one of us came from that kind of like soft, progressive, more like live and let live. We just want to love you. That's all it is. We were serious about trying to understand what was going on.
I was saying this to Neil on like Neil's channel yesterday, that like, it's like, if you believe what you believe, like, I don't know how you can just like, I don't know how Christians who believe in heaven and hell can be like blasé about it. Like, I don't know how you can be like, oh yeah, grandma's going to hell, but I'm not going to tell her about it. I'm going to tell her about Jesus or like my friends. Like, well, yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't know how anyone can do that. Like, I was always perplexed by that. Like, this life is nothing like compared to eternity. So,
right. I just saw an atheist actually make a video. It's an old video that I came across on YouTube. The guy who runs the magic shows, those atheist guys that like have like they watch people trick them and want to see the sleight of hand, and
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He made a video was just saying, I have more respect for someone. If I knew you were going to get hit by a car, and I believed I knew, that you're going to get hit by a car, and you don't go out of your way to do anything at all cost to literally try to save someone from getting hit by that car that they're supposed to get hit by because you believe in hell. I have no respect for that Christian who thinks that people will go to hell and doesn't do a thing about it. So the point is, and it sucks, I want to encourage people to stop thinking it's literally true. But there's this point in which you go, how serious are you about this? And I think all three of us on the screen here were serious about that. Yeah. And we're like probably thorns in people's flesh, so to speak, because I was annoying. I mean, I really was almost harassing my family and my wife for years about taking this serious because I really believed it, like 100% through and through. You should do a crossover with Jimmy Snow. Who's that?
Oh,
the Line, Jimmy Snow from
he's
the
on
Line.
He's got his own channel.
Okay.
Snow's huge, dude. You know who he. You just probably.
I probably seen him. The name doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ricky Johnson says an elder in my former church preached against women wearing open toe shoes in church. Foot fetish issues in the church. Cringe. I mean, can you imagine that?
Dude, I have to say this. My old youth pastor did this thing in a leadership retreat where he washed everyone's feet. Like, pulled open a bucket of water and did the old what? Oh, God.
I've done that multiple times with my family. Like, get them in there.
Really?
I swear on everything. We've done like our own communions at home. I've had buckets of water warm water, and I'd take their feet and wash their feet. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty strange at first, but I felt like it was like I was imitating my Lord, and like we were. I was trying to be like Jesus, washing their feet and trying to show them.
But you were a real Baptist, weren't you?
No, I actually became a Presbyterian, which they sprinkle, But before that, I was kind of in the vein, I think you'd say, like Calvary Chapel, non-denominational Baptist-y, not like the Southern Baptist type of Baptist, but I went through there. Immersion baptism was what I believed, but it does sound like they're worried about men seeing feet and going.
So I'm gonna clip that little audio
You
thing.
Should. You should. I put some energy into that, so that deserves its own clip.
Yeah.
Inquisitive Mind, wanted dead or alive. Derek Lambert, $1 million bounty for his Islamic videos from the Taliban.
Whoa,
dude! If there was a bounty on my head for me being critical of Islam, like that'd be nuts. I mean, I just have to call my dad. I'd be like, Dad, you got to bring all those guns you have,
dude.
Man.
Do you actually? This is a serious question, but do you guys actually like I've made videos where, I have apostates come on and we criticize Islam or criticize their, and I worry, I'm like, if I fly through Dubai, am I going to get in like trouble? Like, am I going to get like, detained or something? Like, do you worry about like not being able to go to certain Muslim countries now?
Like, I've thought about that. I don't worry right now because honestly, I think there's crazies. But like, I don't think we're that big.
Yeah, it's not like the governments that are. It's more like individual like cells.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like the Egyptian government is going to care. Or like,
I mean, you were there. You were literally in an Islamic,
No,
country.
It was pretty. It was a good place. It was cool. But like, I bet if we went to Iran, maybe, Iran, or Saudi Arabia, I don't know if I
don't know, man. They're starting to open up there. Yesterday's fight, Jake Paul and Fury, right? So like they're starting. I feel like they're trying to be more.
I don't know much about Saudi Arabia, so I shouldn't speak on it.
I mean, you're not lying. I'm just trying to give them a bone. Yeah. I imagine they're trying to open up and not be like they have been in the past.
I do know they just legalized women driving, so a little late there, but
Iran or Saudi Arabia.
At least that's the right direction, not the wrong direction.
I don't know what country that is. I do know that there's some definite backwards stuff, I would say, that we've got to work on to try and help people to make equal rights. It's simple, like literally the liberty of rights for humans are restricted.
Yeah.
And you can thank forms of that religion for it. And I say forms because people in the West, they live a different kind of Islam. So if I ever had like a fatwa, as they call it, and they're like putting a bounty on my head, goodness gracious, I'd have to get like a VPN account. I'd have to like relocate somewhere, make sure my dad lives with me, Green Beret Special Forces, Dad, stay on watch. hire some of his special forces retired buddies to help, like, like, come on, buddy, bring it. But that's not my goal. I'm not like purposefully trying to stir the hornet's nest. I really want people to think critically.
Yeah.
Inquisitive mind, the ghost of myth vision. Thank you. Max the Confessor, I wish I could debate cringe nil. I'd destroy him in a theology debate.
I don't know.
Do you think we'd all be friends back when we were fundamentalists? Like, do you think we would have all like met at church and like really got on, or do you think
I can answer that pretty well? What was your theology?
Passion. Just
no.
passion
What kind of Christian did you believe in? Free will, God loves everyone and wants to.
I didn't care about any of that stuff. I just wanted to preach the gospel.
I was a predeterminist. I thought there was fate and everything was controlled. I thought that.
Did you think that
I was like almost a Calvinist in my own sense, in my own way, because I've had this weird belief that everything was a result of cause and effect from the start of the creation, that everything was planned out, even right now. That's what I used to think. So I wasn't a Calvinist, but I agreed with that way of thinking, of that this is all predetermined. So,
David, did you think people could lose their salvation?
I heard arguments for and against. I wasn't really concerned. I wasn't really concerned with theology at all. I just thought people needed to encounter God through a powerful experience, and that God was calling us to make disciples of all nations. So like I would talk to like I remember hearing about some people who were kicked off ministry trips